Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so yeah, I'm Bernie Wallach, Public Information Officer for Caltrans, and thank you for having us tonight. I know everybody's real anxious to find out some details on what exactly is going on, and I think one of the keys to success is to appoint Dick as an honorary engineer for our team. In that area as anybody. So, you know, we want to basically give you kind of a high-level overview of what's happening. We're not going to have every single specific as far as construction details and plans, but we're getting close to formulating the plan that we need to share with you. And obviously, as we go forward, there'll be more chances for us to disseminate information in forms like this, you know, emails, blasts, whatever the case may be. And I'd also like some of your suggestions on ways that you would like to hear what's happening on a you know, updated basis. So, you know, that's one point. And then the other one is I'd just like to share with you that as far as this meeting goes, that we, again, like to keep it to Highway 35, and that we'd like to be able to get through the presentation to share with you everything that we have going right now at this point in time. And then at the end of this meeting, we'll be ready to do some question and answer period with all of you. So I guess our time limit on being out of here is what time do we need to?
Well, 9 o'clock.
Oh,
We
9
have to
o'clock,
get cleared
okay.
out,
Yeah.
put the chairs away, and be out
Okay,
by
yeah.
9:30 out this back door, because
Yeah.
the library will be closed.
And we'll hang around a little bit too as needed just to answer some individual questions. So the way I'd like to do this is to kick it off is just to have my team, you know, come over here, stand up, and everybody can introduce themselves individually, their name and title, and I'll kind of take it from there.
You slide that up and then we'll go on.
Hi, I'm Tom Lee. I'm an office chief in design. I am Esteban Sanchez with Design Santa Clara, assistant PE.
My name is Sun Lee. I'm with Caltrans, and I'm one of the PE on the projects.
Sakura on design. I'm also one of the for this project.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Chen. I'm with Caltrans Environmental.
Hi everyone, this is Hushman Nikui. I'm a geotechnical engineer for this project.
Hi, I'm Nick Saleh, Caltrans, project management. Those are smart people who do the work.
Okay, so what I'd like to do at this time, and I guess, Tom, you can use the podium. Tom Lee is going to give you a presentation right now in terms of the technical overview. Tom is the head of the design team, so he'll be the guy to run us through all the processes and what's going to be happening going forward.
First, I want to say thank you for everyone coming today to see our progress. Right. So my team working total about 4 projects in this corridor. The first one is 9.1. And the next one is post file 9.5, and a post file 10.47, and the last one at 12.4. So my presentation is gonna go with the 9.1 and a 12.4 first. So a smaller one, easier, and then I would get to the 10.5, which is the gap at the last. Here is the slide on 9.1. The road slip out from the shoulder. So what I intend to do is we're going to have a rock slope protection to stabilize the shoulder. This project, the fund has been requested, has been approved. The contractors on board, due to a narrow road on the south side, the contract couldn't get the big equipment up. So they're waiting for the contractor on 9.5 do an access road from the north, which I'm going to share you later, and then get a big equipment and construct it. This won't take long. This won't take very fast. Okay. And the next one is 12.4. Within this one, they came in about 2-3 weeks ago. This is a sinkhole. Okay. So you can see there's a sinkhole on it go under Route 35. So this is our team to access the situation out there. So what our design intention for this project is we're gonna put 72-inch pipe with jack across under the Route 35. And then from the inside, we're gonna make hole, and then we're gonna ground from the inside out with we call jet grid, stabilize the whole row. And then have an opening, and then we're gonna have it go to 24, 18-inch go across the service road on the state park. And they can use for future animal crossing. It's really big, 72-inch. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot, I'm gonna go back. This project, the fund had been requested and it was approved last Friday. So we will have the bidding next week or two, and the contract will be on board. And this won't take long to construct. It's an easy one. The next one is the 9.5. This is what it used to look like. And the width out there right now. So Caltrans, we put a barrier for one-way traffic control for now. This will look at downstream, and that's it, one-way traffic control. In order to do this project, we have two main process. The first one we have to do a geotech drilling to see where the rocks are. The second one, it would have to do a survey. So you guys see our, that's the existing center line. This is where we're gonna put solenoid wall. It's gonna look like that. Okay, and then we're gonna realign the whole row into the hill and stay within the Caltrans driveway. See this, the cut? See this cut right here? That matches the driveway. We cannot go outside our driveway. This project, the fund had been requested. It had been approved. The contractor went to bid. We have a contractor on board. It's the same situation. It cannot bring equipment from the south side. So they are in the field this morning and proposing a access road go to the big gap, which I'm going to go later. We're going to access from the north. Okay? So this is the last one. This is a big one, the gap at 10.5. This is the road used to look like. And this area today. Okay, so that the whole land is slide down. So this is our team. The same thing with our geotech went out there and we find the rock layer, how deep it is. And this is our survey. We use some drone to survey the whole area. And this is how big the gap is, about 200 feet wide. Okay. And this is our design. It's a similar concept as a 9.5.
Tom, which way is northbound? North-south?
Right-hand
Oh, I see there.
Left to right, the south going
Okay.
north. Okay, so same thing. We're gonna realign a road toward the hillside, and right away is our this our right away line is our control. We cannot go outside right away. So we realign into the hill, and we're gonna put soldier pile wall right in front of it, and then we're gonna do some benching and landscapes to at the bottom of the wall.
What's soldier pile?
I have a special this year.
Soldier pile, what is the, you know what the soldier beams are? I-beam?
Yes.
You drill a hole. First of all, you're gonna come and,
I should give him the mic.
yeah, we're gonna come and grade the entire area to get rid of all the sloughs, all the landslide debris. And by benching into the good material, and then we put the fill back, so we can reduce the height of the height of the wall. We don't want 45 feet high wall. So by the time we backfill, we create this fill right here. The wall gonna be about 20, around 20 feet high. and and then we're gonna backfill behind it. This area are gonna be graded. Behind it is cellular concrete. At least this is the plan. Cellular concrete. Okay, no, the wall. The wall is soldier pile wall, means we drill a hole in the bench that we created. We put the I-beam at 7 to 8 feet spacing, and in between the I-beam we put a lagging, wood lagging. I have a picture of the soldier pile wall if you guys want to see.
Put a beam across and then put tie bolts to go on.
We might put a tie back on it, we might not, because I was getting there. Because the backfill behind it is cellular concrete, it's a very light material and self-standing. That has no pressure against the wall. Therefore, there might not be need for a tie back.
Can you hold the microphone close to your mouth so that we can hear?
I'm sorry. If we backfill with the cellular concrete behind the wall, the cellular concrete is like 35 pounds per cubic foot compared to 130 pounds for soil. So the pressure against the wall is going to be so minimum that we might eliminate the tieback, the anchor, to anchor the wall. That would save us a lot of money there. But if officer of structure decide to put the anchor in there, one level of tieback, it's fine. I hope I answered. We don't need this wall back here. This wall is not needed because we have enough room right away to just put a fill there. So cellular concrete, this typical doesn't show, is not recent, so I'm working on it. So, and then I'm gonna send a foundation report to officer of structure. Officer of structure is gonna put all the detail of the retaining wall in the plan.
Question. Culvert pipe?
Yes, there will be a couple of them. Well, to clarify, are you going to utilize the existing culvert pipe and its existing path, or will you be putting in a new culvert pipe in order to replace the culvert pipe that was put in 1933?
I believe we're going to replace it. There's a hydraulic designer that's working on that, and they're recommending to replace the existing DI that's out there and culvert that's out there. So probably in the same location, but in a different direction. So it won't be daylighting out. I think it was going like 45 degrees south. This will be just going out through the wall instead. Yes, sir.
So are you going to do anything to try to minimize the water draining out of the hill? Put a French drain or something on that to try to minimize the rain you get coming out of the side?
Yes.
You don't get the,
Yes, we do. Around this, around the cut section, we're gonna put drainage, under drain system, and in every bench, as you see here, here, and here, we're putting under drain system to take care of the groundwater. And of course, there's gonna be a drainage ditch over here to collect the surface water, to prevent it to penetrate in the ground. Even if it penetrate, we're gonna put a drainage layer here along this line to collect any water, any surface water that goes under the concrete ditch or something. So we don't want to introduce any surface water into the embankment behind the wall. Yes, sir.
Do you have a lifespan you're predicting for this repair? Since the last one was about 50 years, 60 years?
Oh, probably more.
Heavy structure. Yes, sir.
this was caused by a culvert that collapsed, correct?
I believe so.
Yes. We believe that the culvert was plugged, and there is a swell area right in this zone right here, and the water was standing there and penetrating into the embankment and saturated the embankment and caused it very heavy and reduced the shear strength of the soil and caused this collapse.
Okay, are all the culverts old culverts recognized and are they all inspected?
I'm not hydraulic engineer, I don't think they are here, but I'm not.
Actually, there was, last time we met here, was February 27. Somebody brought up the issue of another culvert has issue. So we are actually inspecting all the culverts within the corridor, and whatever needs upgrade, it will be upgraded. Yes.
Do you know what the expected lifespan of the original culverts that are still in place is? The galvanized steel corrugated culverts?
Probably, I mean, some of those culverts are very old. I don't
I'm
know.
aware of that. I'm asking what the original engineered lifespan for those culverts was.
I don't know, normally
That was
50 years.
designed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before.
Can we assume that we've exceeded that lifespan?
I can say this, Hans, that the culvert in front of at the bottom of my driveway, which is from the 1920s, is in beautiful condition.
Well, you know what, can I just suggest something? Yeah, those questions, I mean, great questions, but truly, we don't know what happened exactly, because it might be, it's a great shape culvert as the body or the infrastructure, but if it was clogged by something, so the purpose of this was too much water, actually it was too much water, or too much silt flowing from the hills. So there must be more reason. I don't think we did any investigation to know what happened exactly, because we didn't know exactly at this time. I think that's, so I want to make sure it's, but whatever we're designing, I think we're designing hopefully will last for a long time.
Okay, I'm going to the next slide. I'm going to say the question of class. So this is what it look like when it's done. So except for this portion, have me slide out a little bit more. It's just we did it very rush. So see that this is a social firewall. Gonna look like. And in front of that, we're gonna build our bench. We're gonna bring back to the bench and a slope to the one until we touch our toe. And we're gonna do some erosion control for the dirt already out there.
It'll all be French broom. It'll be fine.
So one thing I mentioned earlier is that we have 3 or 4 projects in this corridor, but the contractor cannot access from the south side because the black roads are very small. Now I can allow big to get on there. Same thing with the south side 35 coming up. So contractor are proposing to access from the north. So we're going to build an access road coming from the north and go along a right way and coming down. So this will provide the contractor at 9.5 down here, bringing big equipment, and also a 9.1, bringing big equipment. At the same time, allow room for this contractor. Would I say this project, one good news is the fund has been requested and it has been approved. So the money is coming. So it's been approved. So we're working on final design next few weeks, and we will bring in when for bid and bring a contractor. So that contractor will use the same access road here to bring in our big equipment.
Hey Tom, this access road only for the contractors, not for public use.
Yes. It's only for contractors. Yes.
We wanted to be safe.
How about emergency services? How about emergency services, the fire department? Will you be able to use that? Because right now, that community's isolated tremendously right now. It'd be very helpful if you allow us.
Drake, we have a senior in construction that can help you with that.
Yes, it's going to be with probably installing some bollards so that at least to prevent from the public or outsiders to use it. Thank you.
We'll be arranging.
We'll arrange something for that. Yeah.
Yes, Dick.
Do you have a schedule for when you think this will be completed?
We are shooting for all this project to be completed before the year end. However, the smaller project can finish first. No, the 9.1 and 12.4, the small one. The 9.5 sometime in the fall, and the big one at the end of the year. If everything go the way it's supposed to be, you know, there's thing come up and more rain, and so we shoot for the end of the year.
Are you saying end of year or a year?
End of year.
End of year, end of this year?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
December.
All right.
Thank you, that's great.
Yes,
One
sir.
last question, I'm assuming that the sinkhole has to be repaired first.
Yeah, the sinkhole, it will be repaired first, along with 9.1. Those small one will be repaired before the two big ones.
Has that sinkhole been investigated enough to see if
It's right there, sir. It's been designed.
Oh, I understand.
It's been designed, and the fund has been allocated, so.
I understand that, I'm just wondering about how bad it is actually. Has there been any ground
Yes.
penetrating radar or anything to determine the size of the cavern?
So what we do is we're gonna jack 72-inch pipe across under 35, and we have a person go in there, punch them hole. We're gonna ground from the inside out and top down. We ground the whole area, make it the road strong.
Okay, I've seen it, I know how dangerous it appears.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if it's an imminent hazard of collapsing.
You're not talking about the gap.
I'm talking about the sinkhole.
Yeah, I understand that. So the project have been designed and the fund have been allocated. So
There's a cavern that exists in the roadbed.
Correct.
And is that in imminent danger of collapsing? I think what Blair's asking is, how deep is that cavern?
We have an engineer went out there, and that was his recommendation. It put jack 72-inch across, and then we're gonna.
That's not the question.
There is no imminent hazard for that location. So we have investigated, our team.
Use the microphone.
Please use the microphone.
Yeah, we have investigated that sinkhole. There was a consultant and Caltrans team, so there is no imminent hazard for that location.
How did you investigate it? How did you know there's not a cave?
Yeah, we didn't do the ground investigation like doing the scanning or something, but whatever visually we did, so is
But
not.
actually, that's a good point, and we'll make sure, not necessarily we have to have all the answers to you tonight. We'll take all the questions very serious, and I think that's a good point.
I believe
We'll
that's
make sure that,
I believe that's a more serious problem than
Yes.
people.
I think that's a good point.
Understand.
Whatever it takes to make sure what we're doing is gonna take care of the problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's why I'm open. I'm saying, I'm saying more. Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I've been holding your hand for a while.
How much do you expect to have full road closures when you're doing the repairs at 9.1 and 9.5?
The 9.1, we can have one lane open because on the shoulder only, so we need only one side of the road to do the work. At 9.5, Ray, correct me if I'm wrong, you may need to shut down and let the residents in now. There are 7 residents between the two, right?
Yeah,
So,
we will coordinate with the residents around the area if we have to close the road. But I think what we're gonna do first is to cut into the hill, widen the road before we do the swim lane for the retaining wall.
Yeah, that bank is already very steep on the east side at 9.5. Are you doing anything to shore that up on the east side?
no, we're gonna cut into the, you mean on the slide side or the hillside?
No, on the hillside.
No, we
That was already sliding
No,
down.
we're gonna cut into the hill all the way to a right-way line.
Okay.
We slope, I think 3/4 to 1? 3/4 to 1, yeah.
Are you coordinating with any road crews that might be working on Black Road to make sure that you don't have Skyline closed and Black Road closed at the same time?
Is that because of the county work?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
I
I
mean,
don't know
that's-
when the county work is.
No, you're because of the county work, this is what you, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
are you
no,
coordinating with the county so that the residents don't get stranded up there with all the roads closed at once?
I think that's a great point. We need to let them know what we're doing and what town.
I believe
And signage, big signage.
Big signage.
The bottom of the road,
That's
top of the road.
a good point. Yeah.
To answer your question, I think on 9.1, the 9.1 is the southernmost of the 4 projects. So at 9.1, we won't have fully closed. We only have 1 lane only. So rails can be accessed back and forth. The 9.5, only 7 residents only between the 9.5 and 10.5. We will coordinate with those 7 residents when the road are closed. Okay. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, so County Parks is already racing ahead to try to open up the trail that goes up to Skyline from Black Road.
John Nichols Trail.
Yeah, the John Nichols Trail. So we got a ton of traffic going there, moving cones as it is to get to the park. So could it also be coordinated with County Parks to kind of, you know, lay off for a while and just let these roads get fixed? I mean, it's pretty important for us locals there because we can't get in and out with the, it's gonna get worse as spring turns to the summer.
With that one question we answered earlier, right, Nick?
Well, I mean, definitely we have to coordinate with the county, make sure that all the closures, all the work is done.
But it's not just the county road repair, but it's also the parks.
County Parks, yeah. I think we already actually contacted them. At least one, I made a phone call with the county parks, yeah.
Okay, great.
I think what Scott is suggesting is that you actually tell county parks, don't let people come up on Skyline to use the John Nichols Trail. You know, access it from Black Road, but not from Skyline. So I don't know if you've got the power to do that.
They're not paying attention to this. We need enforcement.
So I think, you know, SSA can actually help. So if somebody contacts me, I can lead a charge to actually meet with county parks and take it that way, rather than putting the responsibility on them. I think we can do that as a community. So.
I think part of the issue with that I have heard raised by the residents of Las Cumbres is that the roadblock is before Sunnyvale Mountain Park. And so what's happening is people are finding ways to park along Skyline or parking on Black, riding up. But there is a parking lot there that they could access if the roadblock at Las Cumbres was moved just a few feet, if that makes sense.
No, because there's a 9.5 in between, right? There's another side.
Before that.
Sunnyvale Mountain is
Sunnyvale is
past
after.
9.5.
It's past.
It's past 9.5.
So,
It is?
so yeah, it is.
Yeah, people are still going into the Sunnyvale Mountain regardless.
But what I'm hearing is this is a county parks issue that we need to take up. So that's not this, guys. Let's not take up their time.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So along those same lines, particularly at 9.5, right up on the hill there, I think are the phone lines and the power lines.
No, there is there is a we call belongs to a company Frontier Communication Line.
Right.
We have been notified them for the last 4 weeks, and they have been promised to remove it, but for sure they have removed before our construction begins. Yeah.
Last week we were able to contact them, and I was just wondering if you guys noticed if they did it today, because that's what they told us last week. They're supposed to be out there today, and we haven't had a chance to go out and check it out.
See Frontier today?
So,
No, they didn't come today.
Sorry,
Ray. Nope.
No.
They still out there?
No, they didn't come today.
Not today.
Good luck.
Yeah, they belong to because they have to move out at 9.5, and then they have to move out 10.5 also. Because 10.5 are coming soon to do construction.
I gotta say that the material that comes from 9.5, we're gonna use in 10.5 because we need lots of it.
So let me, yeah, go, yes, sir.
Is there any point at the construction of 10.5? I understand when you start moving the stuff in, you're not going to have a capable for the public to go back and forth through there. But at what point during that construction are you going to allow us access? Is there going to be allowable access through there?
Ray?
I mean, do you see something, or do we have to wait until the end of the year, or God knows how long into the future?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
So when you start constructing 10.5 and you build your access along the frontage there, your boundaries. Is at some point, are you gonna have it to where we can go that way?
So he's wondering if there's a
Or we
resident.
stay landlocked basically to Black Road the whole time?
We can discuss with the contractor and see how we can do a staging to allow for.
Yeah, like when you're doing your pilings and you've got that far right.
And just residents only.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
We don't have a badge. So we will,
They ain't gonna open that up.
Tom will discuss this internally,
Yeah,
how
we
we
will-
can
we'll
handle
discuss.
the staging.
It's just that shirt, but also on the south side, right here, we're gonna cut it down and make an exit to the bowl.
Yeah.
So we're gonna exit to the bowl from the south side. The exit for equipment from the north side. So
Yeah.
it's very dangerous.
So I understand that.
There's big equipment, there's an exit go to the bowl, and I doubt we're gonna open to public.
But may I just add something? You know, this is actually, it's a very, very accelerated process. A normal project like this would take at least a year or 2 years to design, make sure you meet all the issues and understand things. Now, we are hoping that the contractor would be innovative enough to just construct it quicker than what we think too, because they have their own also ways how to build roadways. So, and if there's any chance we could have one way, I think that should be entertained, but not in any way that we're gonna leave the road open if it's not unsafe.
Yeah.
Or we make sure it might trigger something. But also, by complete closure, you might actually give the contractor a bigger window to accelerate the work.
That's right.
So there is also a balance between things, and I mean, if you give the contractor full freedom to do what they want to do, I think they will cut down the time to more than half.
Are there any early completion incentives built into the budget for this?
You know, those 3-4 projects, from the beginning to the end, it's under emergency contracts. None of those things actually fits the typical programming or construction project or how we do business. But we are paying the contractor, and we could direct them and because this is actually give us the upper hand to suggest something, how the work could be done, and we could suggest something. But we didn't have a contract, when they're gonna start and we're gonna finish, because none of that's what we did was tested yet. So we need to make sure what we're doing actually is doing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's the risk of a quick design. This is a quick design, yeah, you realize that. So that's why we cannot give a definite schedule or answer to when and why and how long it's gonna take, because it could be a lot faster than what we think, and it could be longer.
This gentleman will have a question, yes, sir.
So, kind of extending on this thing about getting past here, like we've got construction work that we want to do further down, like down by mile marker 6. We've got landslides and stuff like that. So it's private road. So we can get equipment in there to fix it. Is it possible to open up to other contractors, for the contractors to come through from the north? So it's not open to the public, but if we need to get equipment down to fix our road, can we work with you guys to say, yeah, they can bring equipment through there?
I live through the construction.
You know, I will leave it when we have the contractor and when we have the service road, it to be, you know, again, we said the same thing to the farmer. We have to be safe road and want to make sure it's controlled, because you don't want to have access to somebody that we don't know what's going to do and they might harm themselves. But I do recommend when we start construction to check with construction guys and Bernie if there's any way we could work with you.
Because at that point, we're gonna have the contractor doing the 9.5, and then we have the 10.5, so.
And a 9.1.
Coordinate, yeah, 9.1 also. Then there's also the 4.4.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible to get access to these documents? Do you have them published someplace, or?
Do we have this, you mean the PowerPoint?
Yeah, can we look at it again, you know, after the meeting sometime?
Okay, we can put it on the website, right?
Well,
website?
I mean, you like to have a copy of this presentation, that's what you're.
Yeah, I just want to look at it later.
Okay, I can email to Dick, and we can pass that out. Yeah.
Again, this is a
we can put on the SSAs.
and it doesn't have anything other than a couple of lines.
Yeah, this is open shop, so, yeah.
In general, it would be nice if there was a website that
was maintained that had information about the status and, of the project and maybe, say, the contents of those posters and so forth. And whenever you have updates on schedules or estimates, it gets put up there.
You know, I defer this to Bernie because we have more than 100 sites of storm damage and more, and I'm sure we're tracking those somehow.
Yeah, our webmaster's actually working on a site that's
Speak
going
up,
to be just.
please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our webmaster's working on a site that's going to be basically assigned just to the DO jobs in the area, because there's so many of them that we're trying to then just pinpoint each county, what's going on, and that this project will be included in that. I'm expecting that we should have something up within about a week or two.
Okay.
Yeah, well, for your information, District 4, we have about around 100 projects. My office alone, beside these 4, we have 8 more projects. So about 12 projects of all emergency. So it's very busy.
Yeah, and I want to take that moment, if they haven't impressed upon you enough, that this project scope would normally be a 2.5 year repair. So the fact that it's such a high priority and emergency, and they're going to try to complete it for our community by the end of the year, I mean, it's an impressive thing. So I think they need a, yeah.
Yeah, but it'd been more impressive if they would have maintained these roads like they should have. Well, it's costing taxpayers millions of dollars in wasted funds that should have been taken care of to begin with. These culverts shouldn't have been blocked, they shouldn't have been under disrepair.
Excuse me, but with the acceleration of the project, one question I would have is what will be, if you've any planning in this regard yet, environmental remediation afterwards?
Yes.
Just, you know, plantings or, you know, any way of kind of leaving the footprint be a little bit less invasive to the area?
Yeah, so just because we're on an accelerated schedule does not mean we are exempt from any environmental laws or any measures that any measures. So just because we're on an accelerated schedule does not mean we are exempt from any environmental laws, regulations, implementation measures, anything like that. It's just accelerated in the way where we can construct these very necessary construction, fixing the road just to regain access first. But we're still gonna do the environmental documentation. So the way is that we're doing as much avoidance measures as we can to reduce the impact. And we're still gonna do our studies to see what else we can, you know, make sure that we're maintaining, we're not gonna have significant, you know, impact on the environment. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, and anything about revegetation, is that, I mean, I know it's kind of way far in advance.
Erosion control is part of the project. Anything we can implement now, we will.
And those are part of the contract with the contractor?
Yes, the erosion control.
To answer the question, this is a right away. The bottom of a toe of the Warburg end was somewhere here. So from here to a right way, and we intend to go outside right way. We are on process contact this owner right here, and we're gonna do erosion control all the way out to here, about 200-300 feet beyond our right way. Okay.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I have a question about south of this, south of Black Road. There was a lot of damage from the storms with all the trees coming down and everything. A lot of that stuff got cut up and thrown out of the highway right-of-way, which is very narrow there where it's only one lane. I'm with the Fire Safe Council. I'm really interested in a fuel reduction project along the highway. What can we do to clean up the vegetation that got cast off the side of the road during the emergency, let's open the road back up? That stuff is going to be there in the middle of fire season.
You know what, I think it's a great question, and I'd like to introduce also our maintenance supervisor for Santa Clara County. I think you guys know him right now.
Well, I'd like to know if we can get.
And I think that it's a coordination effort between District 4, Santa Cruz County and District 4 too, and they're already going to have some, well, you just haven't seen these actually, Patty.
I saw it.
Okay.
District 5 actually handles the maintenance for that section. I don't. I'm
what? We could connect you with District 5.
Could
We
you
own
facilitate
Caltrans.
a conversation on that issue?
Yes.
All the dead trees on the side of the road?
We could visit the issue, yes.
Because I think that's part of the emergency, it's not just the emergency, it's that all these trees move too.
If you send me an email, Patty, and I'll get you in touch with somebody over
Yeah.
there.
And we could utilize those emergency contracts if we have to clean something out or move some of that big size, whatever it is, we could work with you.
Do we have a plan on what emergency vehicles will be able to do while things are blocked? As we go into fire season, what will be the potential solutions for emergency vehicles to get to, especially the southern area around Black Road and stuff? Do we
What
have
I
an idea?
understand from that one, 10.5, actually you can have access road, and we just talked, they might have access, and I think with this exclusive.
But it can't be the whole time, and we don't know when a fire is gonna occur, you know. You think you'll have access early enough on, before fire season, that it'll be
Yeah,
permanently
because the
there?
contractor need this access road to access the other side. I mean, this is,
Okay.
that's gonna be the first order of
Yeah,
work
first order of work.
without knowing the details.
Yeah.
They need that little piece of road to go around. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you repeat what the current bid status is on each project? You said
Okay.
that for each project, but can you summarize
Okay,
that?
for the 9.1, the fund has been requested and approved. The contractor, the bid had went out and the contractor is on board. However, they cannot start construction until the access road is built because they couldn't bring equipment up. For 9.5, the fund have been requested and approved. The bid is done and the contractor is on board. However, they still wait for access road to be built in order to bring equipment. The 10.5, the fund had been requested and approved last Friday, so the fund is there. The design is finalizing, and the bid will sometime next week or the week after, and then the contract be on board after that. Right. For the 12.4, the fund have been requested and approved last Wednesday, I believe. So the bid is for a contract coming soon, maybe within the next 2 weeks.
So is the access road work part of the bid and contract for 10.5, or is that gonna be a separate little project to facilitate all the other projects?
That one, the request for that access road was request to be done by request by the contractor on 9.5. However, our management still decide which contract gonna build that, so.
But you know, I think at the end of the day, I mean, we call it separate contracts, but because this is the way emergency set up in Sacramento. But at the end of the day, we have one construction team. They're gonna coordinate all the construction for the 3-4 spots and with the contractors, and they would actually direct the work the way it fits more possible.
Right, but the main question really is,
You could do it-
when is that access road going to be?
I heard it tonight 3 times, very important. I think that should be the first order of work, regardless of how we're gonna pay for it.
If weather permits, you're gonna see the construction going on this week on
Yes,
the
I'm taking it.
9.1.
Which one?
9.5. I mean, the access, I'm sorry, the access road.
Which, yeah, I mean, you could actually just shift your resources away, and, yeah.
So what's the start date? What's the start date of any of these projects?
We just said in about a week, you should see activity starting for the
1
access
week?
road. As
Yeah.
far as the project goes, probably how long is it gonna take to build the access
We'll
road, would you
see.
say?
Yeah, the contractor is already on board, sir. It's just,
About a month, 2 months?
yes, sir.
So I realize it's out of the scope of your emergency project, but I'm curious if you have any comment on the 5 approximately slip outs that are between Gist and very close to the end of your Bear Creek Road. There, that first quarter mile, third of a mile, there's about 5 slips. Has there been any discussion about getting those addressed?
Talk about the other side of District 5?
It's between 3.5 and 6.5.
You know, I think this is, I think it's within District 4, Oakland office, this is our perspective. But I will get back to you on that one. I mean, definitely.
I think
all
that,
Caltrans.
I believe the project handled by District 5.
No, I understand, but
Yeah.
we all Caltrans. We'll get back to you on the status of this one, we'll give names. Yeah.
Is that, there's signage right now on the road saying, you know, there's a date between this date and sort of end of April, the road will be closed. So what is that, what are they talking about? What area?
Is that the same location that he referred to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's around 6.5 or 6.
You know, can we
Yeah,
get
well,
back
we'll
to,
have to-
can we get with you guys exactly and the contact person with District 5? But we will get back to you now.
What, well,
We
Yeah,
should
if
coordinate.
you don't mind, send email to,
Michael Rowe.
Michael, yes, and then, and one person and send all a question to us and we try to answer.
Okay.
You have any question, any other question? Yes, yes, sir.
During the construction of the access road, will there be any heavy equipment coming up Black Road, or will it all be coming up Highway 9?
That's why we build access road, to come from the north, coming down.
All coming from Highway 9?
Yeah. Because access road is only one way and the trailer wouldn't fit on it, long trailer.
So the first thing will be to take out trees and then do some grading? Is that how it's going to work?
I can answer.
Yeah, please.
For the access road, for the access road, I've seen the contractor's proposal, which is using a steel sheet piling and drive the sheet pile by vibration. Very close to that area.
Right there.
Yeah. And so, and they're gonna backfill behind it because there's a depression going on there. So they're gonna fill that area up. This is a temporary, and then when we get to the permanent repair, the sheet pile is gonna be removed. All that fill is gonna be removed based on my recommendation, which is grading before we remove all the material and then fill it up and put the wall and.
How long do you think it will take to complete the access road?
I don't think
If
that
weather
will
permits.
take more than a couple of weeks, based on my experience.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks maybe.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned to build the access road, there'll be some heavy equipment or long trailers coming up from the north. Can those trailers make it up Highway 9 with the one-lane closures where the traffic lights are?
Pretty narrow.
Yeah,
Where
well,
they're
it should
pretty
be,
narrow.
I mean, Highway 9
Can-
actually, you could drive somewhere end of this. I mean, it's standard lane width, I
It's not,
assume.
well, it's not standard
Well,
at
they
the
have two
moment
lanes.
though,
Okay.
because of the one-way.
They should be able to,
Yeah.
the contractor
Will
already.
you take that into account?
Yeah, but I think that's a good, that's a good point, thanks. I think we did have one-way traffic control once and
There are
we
two ways.
squeezed something to fix it.
And it's
But that's, I think
Yes,
the
sir.
contractor would.
So regarding the access road, it seems to me the culvert needs to go in first, right? Because you're gonna then build the access road over that. That's a good question for the drainage, because the access road might be there for a long time. But if we are planning to finish before the rainy season, next rainy season, probably there is not much need for surface drainage facilities. But I'm sure they're gonna consider that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a different question. Considering coming from the north, are you guys going to barricade the road after Castle Rock Park to prevent people from coming past Castle Rock up into that area just before the final barricade before the slide? Because there's a huge problem with people coming there and messing around and doing donuts in the open space. So if you're gonna have heavy equipment coming that way, are you gonna move the closure back away from the gaps all park people away?
I mean, my understanding today it's barricaded and has a area.
No,
like-
no, not.
But we move it for.
Between Castle Rock and the barricade right now, there's a huge influx of people coming up and riding their motorcycles, racing their cars, because the road closure sign is down at the four-way stop at the gap. Is there any plan to put another barricade at least out to Castle Rock to prevent all those people from coming farther that way?
Ray?
I'm not sure, but but we need to have an access for the residents on that side, I believe.
Right, well, I'm a resident there, and it's causing a huge problem, because people keep coming up, they're coming up our driveway, they're hiking around to take a look at the slide and stuff, but there's no enforcement, and there's nobody stopping them, because it just says local traffic. Well, they could be local traffic coming to the park, if they come up to the residents. There's only 3 residents there between Castle Rock and the barricade, and it's causing a huge problem. They're using the park as a bathroom, they're throwing trash, they're riding motorcycles all around. So is there a way to bring a barricade right there at Castle Rock Park?
Okay, we're
How
gonna look
far
into it.
is that from 4.4?
But I do recommend actually to inform the local police about.
I have.
the
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah,
because,
we've done that.
A barricade order to
sorry.
be removed. I'm just throwing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my question is related.
It's not my problem.
So my question is related. When you have this access road that the contractor's gonna build around 10.5, this temporary thing, who is going to be responsible to keep people from, only super authorized personnel from using this, such as the fire department? We have the same problem that she's talking about right now, which is there are people, they're coming and they're doing really unsafe things. In addition to doing unpleasant things, they're also doing really unsafe things. So someone's going to need to be responsible for making sure that that access road is only used by the people who are authorized to use it.
We talk about 2 things, right? The access road, that one gonna be used for construction and just to go around the wash area. This is gonna be exclusive, controlled, managed by Caltrans and the contractor, exclusively. Nobody allowed to use this one other than permission, and we're gonna arrange with the fire marshal. This is exactly, and we will make sure that this is done. Now, the other issue is that before that one, if there's somebody's moving the barricades to use, I think it's a law enforcement issue more or less. We could actually put more barricades and force the area, but if I don't know. I think I do recommend that maybe should be supplemented by enforcement.
But, and let me suggest, these are all great suggestions that we need from the community, because there's a lot of stuff that might not be on their radar screen. But can you filter that through me, and I will create a succinct list for them to put on the radar screen rather than flooding them? I mean, bring it up now,
Just
but
wondered- I just
follow up
wondered if
by
they
getting
had
it to me
thought
so that
about
we
it.
can get it
Yeah.
in front of them in writing.
The access road, I'm sure a chain and a lock and a key, or keys handed out to appropriate, solve the problem.
People go through the park right now, Sunburn Park, if they can do it, they will do it. So it's just if the structure is going to be built in a way that nobody can go through, that's hard to do. That's a question, it's not necessarily.
Here's the problem. When we, as a community, contact CHP, sheriff's offices in the various counties, all the way from San Mateo down to Santa Cruz, Santa Clara, all the counties, they ignore our pleas, and they don't show up unless there's an accident or there's a 911 call, and they don't always show up when there's a 911 call. Is there any way that you, Caltrans, can contact CHP, sheriff's offices in Santa Cruz and Santa Clara County in order to coordinate enforcement of that closure?
Yeah, actually, I think it's next Tuesday, I'm going to be addressing the issue with CHP personally and the sheriff myself, just to try to get an idea from them of what we can expect in terms of a reaction time when you guys make a call or report something. In addition to that, I know we put a lot of signage up there, but we're going to look at optimizing even more. I mean, you raised some good points. We'll see what we can do as far as more fencing to keep people out. I can tell you that the times that I've been on site, people go up the trails and come around the back end, So, it's going to be no guarantees that people are still going to, not abide by what we set up or the law, so to speak, and they're just going to, they're going to want to do things in a reckless manner because that's their propensity, is to be daredevils and whatever. There's going to probably be some of that, and that's where, again, we need to kind of tag team with the law enforcement, because they're the ones that got to really come up there and hold people accountable once we catch them.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Or what? Okay.
Thank you.
Can I just have a one-to-one request?
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody again. I don't want to use the microphone. I think I used to be involved in construction before. I really truly thank you guys for inviting us to be part of this. And it's a great thing. It's a two-way feedback. Just bear with us. I think we're doing our best. This is in addition to another 100 sites that need our first attention too. And the district-wide and also District 5 have more. During construction, you might experience some inconvenience, things like we talk about soldier pile. I'm not sure they're going to be driven or hammered or something. That might some noise issue. I think that's a benefit. I think the work most going to be done in daytime. So just bear with us, and if there's anything we can help, you got the best two guys here. You could actually throw them, and we could, as much as we can accommodate, that would be great. Just let us know, and just bear with us. And thank you so much. I think it's your help and patience. I think it means a lot to us. Thank you.
Chief Soleil, would you come up here, please? We realized that we got those photographs from Region 4 of Caltrans, Oakland office. One of the members of our South Skyline group found them. The librarian was throwing them out, and so we grabbed them. And we want appreciation of your coming in with all this presentation. We want to present you with the history of the South Skyline. And there's a chapter in here called The Boulevard Builders, which describes the history of Skyline Boulevard. I think you'll enjoy that. And it's autographed to the protectors of Skyline Boulevard.
Thank you so much. I want to make sure I'm not going to put it back in the library. No, thank you. You know what? I will share it. I think I will keep it in my office and actually somewhere very safe. Thank you.
Thank you, the whole Caltrans team. Really appreciate that. Thanks for law enforcement, fire, and everyone else that showed up as well, and for all of you taking the time to drive down here and meet. Drive safe, and good night.